Houston Station for Block Bravo.
Granted.
Coming up on 60 meters. Using monitor 3, the light is within the corridor. Vehicle size matches the outline. The light is now just barely forward of the circle and centered port starboard relative to the circle. The circle is less than 1/4 vehicle width starboard and less than 1/8 vehicle length aft from the center of the corridor, all converging on the center of the corridor.
Copy, good report, thanks.
Zena Cardman reporting the relative position that she is seeing HTVX in as it moves up the corridor for its grapple point. All of that data appears to be in good shape. Some 56 meters now separating HTVX from the station. HTVX and the International Space Station are currently traveling 260 miles just west of HTVX's launch site at the Tanegashima Space Center.
Johnny, we copy on 2. Apologies, I lost KU there. We copy that amber light. We're checking on it, but we'll let you know if we need anything else.
This is Mission Control Houston. HTVX is approaching the 30-meter hold point. Everything continuing to look good on the vehicle as it methodically makes its way from a point directly below the station to a capture point at about the 10-meter mark. There will be a hold point first at 30 meters to assess the HTVX's systems before it resumes its approach one final time to that capture point for a final assessment before Kimiya Yui uses the station's robotic arm to reach out and grapple the Japanese cargo ship that launched 3.5 days ago from the Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan.
Station, no changes to our previous Block Bravo call.
Copy that, Zena, and be advised. So we did recover the LiDAR too, but it faulted again. So we're going to leave. We're going to be in this config for capture.
Copy. Understand. We'll be in this config for capture. No problem.
And that call from Aki Hoshide here in Mission Control to Zena Cardman indicating that one of the two redundant LiDAR navigation sensor systems has been providing some erratic data to the onboard computers. So that has been evaluated here in Mission Control as well as in the HTV flight control room in Tsukuba, Japan. It is of no concern. We're pressing ahead with the approach of HTVX for its grapple by Yui using the Canadarm2 robotic arm. And we now have confirmation that we have reached the 30-meter hold point.
Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. Confirm a 30-meter hold. Then set up and brief for capture per step 6 and 1.102.
The crew will receive a final briefing now from Mission Control here in Houston.
We can confirm 30-meter hold. Lights on the HTVX command panel match expected, and we will set up for capture per step 6 of 1.102.
Good words.
This will be about a 15-minute hold. The crew on board will be receiving a final briefing on procedures as HTVX traverses the final few meters for its capture. The HTV flight director in Tsukuba, Japan, reporting that they're happy with all of the vehicle systems. Flight director Fiona Antkowiak is about to take a final poll of her flight controllers here for resumption within 30 meters. And the crew will be receiving a short briefing on final procedures prior to the HTV closing the gap for its capture robotically by Kimiya Yui using the station's robotic arm. And a good view of the HTVX, just 30 meters away from the International Space Station, as the two fly in formation over the northeast Pacific, moving from northwest to southeast. This pass will take the two vehicles directly over Baja California a short time from now. HTVX carrying about 4.5 tons of supplies and experiments for the Expedition 73 crew aboard the International Space Station. HTVX holding steady, minutes away from reaching its final destination. And an even closer view of the new cargo vehicle. The HTVX made of two major components, a pressurized module and a service module. The service module contains the propulsion and guidance, navigation, control, communications, and power systems. 26 feet long, 14.5 feet wide, about to join the resupply chain at the International Space Station. And framed against the limb of the Earth, a good view of the HTVX in close proximity to the International Space Station. HTVX.
Station on 2 for HTVX. Per 1.110, step 3.2. Crew is ready for HTVX approach to capture point.
Copy all. Stand by. Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. HTVX is ready to proceed to the capture point. Expect approach to resume shortly.
We're handing over between satellites.
Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. HTVX is ready to proceed to the capture point. Expect approach to resume shortly.
Station copies, ready to proceed to capture point, expecting approach to resume shortly.
So with that, Aki Hoshide informing Zena Cardman that the vehicle is ready to resume the final leg of its 3.5 day journey to its capture point, just about 10 meters away from the International Space Station. And the approach command has now been sent. HTVX and space station flying just off the west coast of the United States.
Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. HTVX has begun approach from 30 meters. Monitor per step 7 and 1.102.
Station copies, resuming the approach and monitoring per step 7 of 1.102.
The actual capture phase involves Kimiya Yui operating the station's robotic arm from the cupola, backed up by NASA's Zena Cardman. The end effector will move over the grapple pin. It will actually grapple HTVX, but the snares then will have to close, the carriage retracted, and that will mark the official capture time that we'll provide for you as soon as we have that data. HTVX closing in at a very glacial pace, some 28 meters away. "27 meters away.
Station on 2 for Block Bravo. Lights have converged on the center of the circle, and circle has converged on the center of the corridor.
Copy. Good report. Thanks.
This view now from the end effector camera on the station's Canadarm2 robotic arm. 25 meters separating HTVX from the arm. 23 meters now separating HTVX from the International Space Station. Just passing south of Baja, California, moving from northwest to southeast. This is Mission Control Houston. Everything continuing to go very well as HTVX is about to close to within 20 meters of the International Space Station. You can see the Canadarm2 extended, ready to move in under the command of Kimiya Yui, operating from a workstation in the cupola, backed up by NASA's Zena Cardman. That arm will be set in motion once HTVX arrives at about the 10-meter mark. HTVX continues its methodical approach towards the end effector of the station's robotic arm. Now just 17 meters separating HTVX from the capture point. once HTVX has been grappled, Kimiya Yui and Zena Cardman will hand over the robotic chores to the robotics officer here in Mission Control in Houston, who will spend the next several hours maneuvering HTVX toward the Earth-facing port of the Harmony module for its installation into the common berthing mechanism on that nadir side of Harmony, where HTVX will then be bolted into place. The crew will not be opening the hatch to HTVX until tomorrow morning to begin the process of unloading the start of the cargo operations, some 4.5 tons of supplies and experiments arriving at the International Space Station. HTVX and the station flying from northwest to southeast over the Pacific Ocean, just off the coast of South America. Now just 14 meters separating the two vehicles. We're about 5 minutes away from arriving at the capture point. One final check of HTVX's systems before the approval is given for Kimiya Yui to begin extending the Canadarm2 toward the grapple fixture. "13 meters now separating HTVX and the station. Everything looking very good. HTVX's systems rock solid. HTVX and the International Space Station flying just off the coast of Peru. and a good view from the end effector camera on the Canadarm2 as you're looking right down the barrel of the grapple fixture that the Canadarm2 will affix itself to here a short time from now. The journey of HTVX that began 3.5 days ago with its launch atop JAXA's H3 rocket from the Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan about to conclude. Now just 12 meters separating HTVX from the grapple fixture on the International Space Station's Canadarm2.
Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. Confirm capture point hold for step 8 in 1.102.
Houston Station, for step 8 of 1.102, we can confirm CP hold.
Houston copies.
This is Mission Control Houston. Aki Hoshide confirming with Zena Cardman that HTVX has reached one final hold point at the 10-meter mark. Now polling the flight controllers for a go, no-go to resume the operations that will involve Kimiya Yui extending the Canadarm2 from this 10-meter mark to the grapple fixture on HTVX to complete this rendezvous. HTVX is about to be placed into what is called free drift, inhibiting any further thruster firings so as not to perturbate the operation of the Canadarm2 robotic arm as it moves in to grapple the vehicle.
Station Houston 2 for HTVX. PVGF SEP is enabled. Prepare for capture per step 9 in 1.102.
Okay, we see PVGF SEP is enabled, and we are working step 9 of 1.102.
Houston copies.
Houston Station, per step 9, we can confirm command panel LED configuration is good, and our capture preparations are confirmed. We are ready for HTVX capture with a preference to wait until the other side of this S-band handover.
Copy. And Houston copies, stand by for capture.
The S-band handover referred to by Zena Cardman is a brief gap in communications voice-wise. We do have solid downlink television capability. So we're just a couple of minutes away from Kimiya Yui beginning the work to extend the Canadarm2 robotic arm for its capture of the Japanese cargo ship that is completing its maiden voyage to the International Space Station. HTVX and the station currently flying over Argentina from northwest to southeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator, about to emerge off the east coast of South America over the South Atlantic.
And Station Houston on 2 for HTVX Xena. So that big gap in Optimus, we think that's conservative. It's going to be more like a 4-minute continuation and then a 20-second handover after that.
Okay, copy. That is great information. We can, with your go, start working step 4 of 1.110.
Okay, copy that. Stand by. We're doing the final pull on the ground.
We copy all.
Station Houston on 2 for HTVX. You are go for HTVX capture sequence. Perform step 4 in robotics procedure 1.110. Begin monitoring the backaway cue card.
Station copies. We are go for the capture sequence. We will start with step 4 of
And we're in that brief handover in S-band communications. But the approval has been given for Kimiya Yui to begin the work with the Canadarm2 robotic arm to extend it slowly and methodically toward the grapple fixture on the vehicle. And the International Space Station now in free drift. Thrusters disabled. Standing by for arm motion.
Houston Station on 2 for your awareness. We are doing translational alignment and then beginning our approach.
Copy, we're watching.
And the robotics officer reports the arm is now in motion. Four and a half meters. Good view from the end effector camera. Both vehicles are in free drift. Two and a half meters. One meter away, standing by for capture. We have initial capture. This is soft capture. Waiting for snares to close and carriage retract. Things continuing to look good. And we have capture confirmed. Capture confirmed at 10:58 a.m. Central Time, 11:58 a.m. Eastern Time. We have a good handshake between the Canadarm2 and HTV-X. Its arrival at the International Space Station now complete. Capture again confirmed at 10:58 a.m. Central Time, 11:58 a.m. Eastern Time, as HTV-X and the International Space Station flew 260 miles over the South Atlantic.
Houston Station on Spacecraft 2, HTV capture complete. Go for HTV-X post capture reconfiguration action. And I just want to say congratulations to all teams and people involved in this mission. Also, thank you very much for your hard work and support for the first HTV-X mission. This is a historic event in the Japanese space program. Spacecraft is so beautiful and shining, as if it is representing our future, bright future. Thank you again for delivering these important supplies and experiments. I can't wait to open this golden treasure box. 日本の皆さん、HTV-X 君が無事に ISS に着きました。このミッションを通じて、日本が高い技術力で国際的な宇宙開発に貢献していることを知っていただいて、日本とですね、その国である皆さんにと誇りを持っていただけたら嬉しいです。明るい希望と未来に通じるこの活動を引き続き応援してください。今日は私にこの大役を任せていただきありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
Copy, capture, complete, and great words, Kimiya. Congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to the entire team, to all of those around the world who has contributed towards this successful mission. And special congrats to our friends in Japan who has worked so hard for years in development and training to make this dream come true. HTV-X is the 11th vehicle to visit the ISS. Like its predecessor, HTV, and its legacy, HTV-X will be a key element towards our future in space together, in low Earth orbit and for lunar exploration. Once again, congratulations. 日本の皆さん、HTV-X 初号機の ISS 到着おめでとうございます。先代の HTV、コウノトリに新しい技術を加えた HTV-X は、ISS をはじめとする地球低軌道、そして月までも含めて人類のさらなる可能性を切り開く大きな鍵になります。引き続き一丸となって新しい未来を切り開いていきましょう。ゆうさん、キャプチャーおめでとうございます。Good job.
Thank you. ありがとうございます。Thank you for your heartwarming warm words. Thank you.
And so that exchange of words between two astronauts representing the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, Kimiya Yui, on board the station, part of Expedition 73, relaying his congratulations to the whole team for a flawless 3.5-day journey of HTV-X from its launch pad at the Tanegashima Space Center to its capture just a few minutes ago. Yui operating the Canadarm2 robotic arm to reach out and grapple HTV-X. He will hand over those robotic chores to the robotics officer here in Mission Control, who will maneuver HTV-X to the Earth-facing common berthing mechanism on the Harmony module for its installation and bolting into place later today. Those words acknowledged by veteran astronaut Aki Hoshide here in Mission Control, who himself used the Canadarm2 back in 2012 as part of Expedition 32 to capture the one of the original HTV vehicles, the HTV-3. So the work is now complete, with the exception of the maneuvering of the vehicle to its installation and bolting into place later today. The bottom line, a flawless rendezvous. Everything went by the book. All of HTV-X's systems performed normally for its capture at 10:58 a.m. Central Time, 11:58 a.m. Eastern Time, as HTV-X and the space station flew 260 miles over the South Atlantic. So with that, we will wrap up our coverage for today. Thank you for joining us this morning, and have a good day the rest of this day and in the days to come. This is Mission Control Houston.